I used to think loneliness was just missing someone, but real loneliness is when you're so desperate to feel wanted that you'll ignore every warning sign screaming in your face. You'll convince yourself that a girl 32 years younger actually sees something special in you. You'll sit there sending money while she types "I love you" between sessions with paying strangers online, and you'll tell yourself you're different. You're special. She needs you. The truth? I wasn't her boyfriend. I wasn't even her customer. I was her retirement fund. And by the time I figured that out, I'd already sent her enough money to retire twice. If these real stories make you think twice about decisions you're facing, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling us where you're watching from. Your engagement helps us share more warnings like this one. This confession came to us from a viewer who reached out after seeing our channel. He wanted others to hear what happened before they make the same mistake. My name is Clifford Patterson. Everyone calls me Cliff. I'm 60 years old, from Perth, and I spent 37 years working in the mines before I retired. Divorced 8 years now. 2 kids who don't call much. When I landed in Pattaya 6 months ago, I told myself I was starting fresh. New country, warm weather, cheap beer, no one asking me why I looked so tired all the time. I rented a 1-bedroom condo near Jomtien Beach, bought a decent motorbike, and started posting photos on Instagram like some 20-year-old backpacker. Beach sunsets, street food, temple visits. Just trying to prove to myself I still had a life worth documenting. That's when she found me, Achara, or Aum, as she liked to be called. She sent me a direct message on a Tuesday afternoon. "Hi. I see you are new in Pattaya. Welcome to Thailand." That was it. Simple. Polite. Her profile showed a young Thai woman with long black hair, minimal makeup, wearing modest clothes, no bikini shots, no duck-face selfies, just normal pictures of coffee shops and sunsets. I almost didn't respond. I'd been warned about Thai women online. Every expat forum, every YouTube video, every bar conversation ended the same way. Don't trust them. They're all after your money. But something about her message felt different. So I wrote back, "Thanks. Still finding my way around. Any recommendations?" She replied within minutes. We started chatting. Small talk at first. She asked where I was from, what I did for work, if I liked Thai food. I asked her the same things. She told me she worked at a small coffee shop near central Pattaya, that she'd grown up in Aizan, and that she'd moved to the city to help her family. "I'm not bar girl," she wrote. "I know many foreign men think all Thai women same, but I am different. I want good man. Honest man." I wanted to believe her. God. I wanted to believe her so badly. We messaged every day for 2 weeks. Good morning texts, photos of her breakfast, questions about my day. She asked about Australia, about my kids, about why I'd come to Thailand. I told her the truth, that I was lonely, that my marriage had ended badly, that my kids had their own lives now and I didn't fit into them anymore. She didn't judge me. She just said, "I understand, lonely. Everyone feel lonely sometimes." It was such a simple thing to say, but it hit me hard. No one had acknowledged my loneliness in years. Everyone just told me to get over it, move on, find a hobby. But Iom just said she understood. That was enough. When we finally met for dinner, I was nervous. I picked a quiet restaurant away from the tourist strips, somewhere she'd suggested. I got there early and waited at a corner table, watching the door. When she walked in, I almost didn't recognize her. She looked exactly like her photos, which was rare enough. But more than that, she looked nervous. She was wearing a simple blue dress, flat, sandals, her hair pulled back. No heavy makeup, no tight clothes. She smiled when she saw me. But it was a shy smile, like she wasn't sure if this was a good idea either. "Hi, Cliff," she said, sitting down across from me. Her English was decent, better than I'd expected. "Thank you for meet me. I was scared you not come." Many men, they talk online, but then they see me and they disappointed. They want different girl, more sexy maybe. I am just normal. I shook my head. "You look great. Really, I'm glad you came." We ordered food and talked for 2 hours. She told me about her family. her mother who was sick, her younger brother still in school. She talked about her dreams of opening a small business someday, maybe a salon or a bakery. She asked me about mining, about Perth, about what it was like being retired. When I told her about my divorce, about how my ex-wife had called me emotionally unavailable, Aum reached across the table and touched my hand. "You are not unavailable," she said. "You are here. You are talking." Something I'd kept locked down for years. When we left the restaurant, she gave me her line contact. "We can talk more," she said. "If you want." I wanted. I wanted so badly it scared me. Over the next month, Aum became the center of my life. We didn't see each other in person much, she said. She worked long hours at the coffee shop, but we texted constantly. Good morning photos. Updates throughout the day. Video calls at night where she'd show me what she was cooking for dinner or the street outside her apartment. She lived in a small studio on the outskirts of town. Nothing fancy, but she kept it clean and decorated with little personal touches. Stuffed animals on her bed. Posters on the wall. It felt real. She felt real. She started opening up about her work. "I do some online also," she told me one night, during a video call. "Social media. Sell things online. It helped me make extra money for my family." "What kind of things?" I asked. "Just clothes, accessories. Sometimes I post photos for brands. They pay me small money. Not much, but it help." She smiled. "I am trying to be modern Thai girl. Use internet to make money, you know?" It made sense. Everyone was doing that now. I didn't think twice about it. A few days later, she mentioned that her rent was going up. "My landlord say I must pay more or move out," she said. Her voice was tight, stressed. "I don't know what to do. I have money for my mother medicine this month, but if I pay rent, I cannot send her money." "How much do you need?" I asked. No, Cliff. I cannot ask you. We are just friends. I don't want you think I am bad girl. I don't think that." "How much?" She hesitated. 5,000 baht. For rent. "But I will pay you back. I promise." 5,000 baht was about 200 Australian dollars. Nothing to me. Everything to her, apparently. I sent it that night. She cried on video call. "You are so good, man," she said. "I will remember this. I will pay back." "You don't have to pay me back," I said. "Just take care of yourself." After that, the requests came more regularly. Medicine for her mother, school fees for her brother, a broken phone that needed replacing. Every time, she protested. Every time, I insisted. It felt good to be needed, to solve problems, to be the hero. I'd spent years feeling useless, too old for my kids, too boring for my ex-wife, too washed up for any real purpose. But Aum made me feel like I mattered, like I was doing something important. I sent her 3,000 baht here, 4,000 there. Never huge amounts. Just enough to help. Just enough to keep her afloat. 3 months in, I was having drinks at a beachside bar with another expat, an American named Chuck, who'd been in Pattaya for 5 years. We were talking about nothing important: visas, motorbike, repairs, where to get decent coffee when he mentioned OnlyFans. "Man, these Thai girls are making bank on that site," he said, laughing. "I know 2 girls from the bars who quit working and just do OnlyFans now. They're pulling in more than they ever made dancing." "OnlyFans?" I said. I'd heard of it but never really understood what it was. "Yeah, it's like Instagram but for porn. Girls post explicit photos and videos. Guys pay monthly subscriptions to see them. Some of these girls have hundreds of subscribers paying 10, 20 bucks a month. Do the math." "That's serious money." I nodded, only half listening. But later that night, alone in my condo, I found myself curious. I pulled up the OnlyFans website on my laptop and started browsing. I wasn't looking for anything specific, just curious, just bored. I clicked through profiles randomly, skimming past usernames and preview images. Then I stopped. My stomach dropped. I recognized the background of one of the preview photos. The pink bedspread. The white stuffed rabbit on the shelf, the window with the curtain half drawn. I'd seen that room 100 times on video calls. It was Aom's apartment. It was unmistakably Aom's apartment. I clicked on the profile. The username was different, something generic like Asian Princess XO, but the photos were her. Her face, her body, wearing lingerie I'd never seen, posing in ways I'd never imagined. The profile said she had 243 subscribers. There were dozens of posts. Photos, videos, captions in broken English saying things like, "Miss you, baby," and "Want to play tonight." I felt like I was going to throw up. I sat there, staring at my laptop screen, unable to move, unable to process what I was seeing. This was the girl who'd told me she wasn't like the others, the girl who worked at a coffee shop, the girl who wanted a good man. I didn't sleep that night. I just sat on my couch, scrolling through her page, torturing myself. Every photo felt like a dog, betrayal. Every caption felt like a lie. By morning, I'd made a decision. I had to confront her. I had to know the truth. I called her online. She answered after 3 rings, her face filling the screen, smiling. "Good morning, Cliff. You wake up early today. We need to talk," I said. My voice was flat. Her smile faded. "What's wrong? You sound angry. Are you going to tell me the truth? Or do I have to say it first?" She blinked. "Truth about what?" "OnlyFans," I said. "I found your page. I saw everything." The blood drained from her face. For a moment, she said nothing. Then her eyes filled with tears. "Cliff, I can explain, then explain." She started crying, actual tears running down her cheeks. "I am so sorry. I wanted to tell you. I was so scared. I thought you would leave me. I thought you would think I am bad girl. You lied to me," I said. "You told me you worked at a coffee shop. I do work at coffee shop. Sometimes. But it not enough money. My family need money. Mother sick. My brother needs school. I started OnlyFans before I meet you. I was desperate. I didn't know what else to do. How long have you been doing this?" 1 year. Maybe more. "But Cliff, I want to stop. I hate it. I hate that men look at me like that. I feel dirty. I feel ashamed. But I owe money." "You owe money? To who?" She wiped her eyes. "The agency. The company who helped me set up the page. They take photos. They manage my account. They post for me. But they charge me. I owe them 200,000 baht. If I don't pay, they won't let me delete my page. They say they own the content. They say I signed contract." I didn't know if I believed her, but the tears looked real. The shame in her voice felt real. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because I like you," she said, her voice breaking. "You are good, man. You don't look at me like object. You talk to me like person. I didn't want to lose you. Please, Cliff, please don't leave me. You are only good thing in my life." I wanted to hang up. I wanted to block her number and never think about her again. But I couldn't, because part of me wanted to save her. Part of me wanted to be the hero who pulled her out of that life. "How much do you owe?" I asked. 200,000 baht. I did the math in my head. About $6,000. A lot of money, but not impossible. "If I pay it off, you'll delete everything? You'll stop?" "Yes, I promise. I swear to you, Cliff. I will delete everything. I will be free. We can start new." I wired the money 3 days later. She sent me a photo of a document in Thai, some kind of release form, she said, and thanked me over and over. "You saved my life," she said on video call, crying again. "I will never forget this. You are my hero." For 2 weeks, she seemed different, lighter, happier. She talked about the future, about maybe moving to a better apartment, about finding a real job. I felt like I'd done something good, like I'd made a real difference in someone's life. Then one night, I checked her OnlyFans page again. I don't know why. Paranoia, maybe. Or maybe I just needed to confirm it was really gone. But it wasn't gone. There was new content. Posted the day before. A photo of her in black lingerie, lying on her bed, The caption reading, "Who wants to keep me company tonight?" I stared at the screen, my chest tightening, my hands shaking. She'd lied. Again. Or maybe she'd never stopped. Maybe the whole agency story was bullshit. Maybe I was just another ATM. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I created a fake account, a fake name, a fake profile picture, and subscribed to her page. $10 a month. I wanted to see what her subscribers saw. What I found made me sick. She was posting almost every day. Photos, videos, messages. But worse than that, she offered something called a boyfriend experience package. $500 a month. Subscribers who paid got daily text messages, personalized photos, and video calls where she pretended to be their girlfriend. She'd send them good morning texts. Ask about their day. Tell them she missed them. It was the exact same thing she'd been doing with me. Word for word. I wasn't special. I wasn't different. I was just one of a dozen men getting the same script, the same performance, the same lies. I should have walked away then. I should have blocked her and moved on. But I didn't. Because part of me still wanted to believe. Part of me thought that if I just gave her enough money, she wouldn't need to do this anymore. She could quit. We could be together for real. So I kept sending money. $2,000 for a business loan to start her salon. $3,000 for her mother's emergency surgery. Another $1,000 for rent when her landlord supposedly threatened to evict her. She always had a reason, always had a crisis, and I always sent the money. I stopped checking my bank account. I stopped talking to my kids when they called. I renewed my condo lease for another 6 months because I couldn't imagine leaving her. Her home consumed my thoughts. I checked her OnlyFans page every day, watching her perform for strangers, torturing myself. I started drinking more, sleeping less. I was unraveling. One afternoon, I was walking near her apartment, something I did sometimes, just hoping to run into her when I saw her getting into a black Mercedes. A man was driving, older, Thai, expensive watch. I watched them pull away, then I followed on my motorbike, keeping my distance. They drove to a luxury condo complex in North Pattaya, one of those high-rise buildings with a gate and security. She got out and went inside. I parked across the street and waited. 3 hours later, she came back out. Alone. She got into a taxi. I sat there on my bike, feeling something break inside me. That night, I called her. "Where were you today?" I asked, keeping my voice calm. "At work." "Why?" "I saw you get into a black Mercedes. I saw you go into a condo building in North Pattaya." Silence. Then, "Cliff, it's not what you think." "Then what is it?" "It was a photography client. He pays me to take photos for his business. Marketing photos. It's good money. 3 hours? It takes time. Different outfits. Different poses. Cliff, you have to trust me." But I didn't trust her. I couldn't. I felt something inside me give up. Some last piece of hope or denial finally shattered. I took a breath. "How much do you need to stop everything?" "All of it. The OnlyFans. The photography clients. All of it. How much money would it take for you to just stop and be with me?" She was quiet for a long moment. Then she said, very softly, 1 million baht. I did the math. Roughly $30,000. It was most of what I had left in savings, but I didn't care anymore. I just wanted this to be over. I wanted to either save her or destroy myself trying. "Okay," I said. "I'll send it." "Cliff, you don't have to." "I'll send it." I liquidated a chunk of my retirement account and wired her the money in 2 installments over the next week. When the second transfer went through, she called me, crying. "I can't believe you did this," she said. "No one has ever done something like this for me. You are the most amazing man I ever met." She sent me printed receipts, documents in Thai that I couldn't read but that she said proved she'd paid off all her debts. To the agency. To loan sharks. To everyone. She promised to delete her OnlyFans page within a few days, as soon as the final paperwork cleared. We started making plans. Maybe we'd open a small cafe together. Maybe she'd move to Australia with me eventually. Maybe this was finally the fresh start we both needed. For 72 hours, I felt something like peace. Relief, like I'd finally done enough. Like I'd finally fixed the problem. Then I checked her OnlyFans page one more time. It was dark. Privated. The page said, "This account is not accepting new subscribers." I felt a wave of relief. She'd actually done it. She'd kept her promise. But then, out of curiosity, I searched her username. And I found a new account. Same girl. Slightly different name. Asian Princess Aum instead of Asian Princess XO. Same photos, same videos. But the prices were higher now. $20 a month for basic access. $1,000 for the premium boyfriend experience tier. I sat there staring at my laptop screen, my hands shaking, my vision blurred. I'd sent her $75,000 over 6 months. $75,000. My retirement savings were gutted, and she was still doing it. She'd never stopped. Maybe she'd never intended to stop. Maybe I was just the biggest fool she'd ever met. I tried calling her, no answer. I sent messages online, no response. Her status said, "Busy with family emergency." I went to her apartment the next day. A neighbor told me she'd moved out a week ago. No forwarding address, no phone number, just gone. I checked her social media, deleted. Every account. The only thing left was the new OnlyFans page. Still active. Still posting new content. I sat on the floor of my condo and cried for the first time in 20 years. Not because of the money. The money hurt, but it wasn't the money. It was the realization that I'd been so desperately lonely, so pathetically hungry for affection, that I'd let myself believe in something that was never real. Every good morning text. Every, "I miss you." Every, "You are my hero." It had all been part of the script, the same script she used on a dozen other men. I wasn't special. I wasn't different. I was just another sad old man with money to burn and a hole in his chest where his self-respect used to be. A few days later, an older British expat named Colin sat me down at a beachside bar. Colin was one of those guys who'd been in Pattaya for a decade, who knew everyone and everything. He'd noticed I was falling apart. "I need to tell you something," he said. "And you're not going to like it." "Go ahead," I said. I was too numb to care anymore. Achara Aum, whatever she calls herself. She's known. In the expat community, she's known. She runs the same scheme on multiple blokes at the same time. I've seen it happen 3 times in the past 2 years. One guy lost his house, another went back to England completely broke. There's probably 5 or 6 men right now who think they're her boyfriend, who think they're saving her, who think they're special. "Why didn't you tell me before?" Colin sighed. "Mate, would you have listened? You were in deep. I saw the look on your face every time someone mentioned her. You were gone. And honestly, I hoped I was wrong. I hoped maybe she'd changed. But she hasn't. She won't. What do I do? You report her. Or you leave. Or you stop the bleeding and move on. But you can't save her, mate. You never could." I nodded. I didn't say anything. What was there to say? I went to the Pattaya police station the next morning, with printed bank records and screenshots of everything. The officer listened politely. He took notes. He asked questions. But in the end, he explained what I already suspected. Without a contract, without proof of fraud, without any kind of written agreement, there was nothing they could do. I'd sent the money willingly. She hadn't stolen it. She hadn't technically scammed me. It was a civil matter, not a criminal one. "I am sorry," the officer said. "But many foreign men come here with this problem. You must be more careful." I left the station feeling humiliated. The system wasn't built to protect men like me. I was just another foreigner who got emotionally scammed. No legal recourse, no justice. Just an expensive lesson in loneliness and denial. I flew back to Australia 2 weeks later. Broke. Ashamed. Unable to look my daughter in the eye when she picked me up from the airport. Back in Perth, I moved into a small rental unit in a neighborhood I'd never lived in before. I couldn't afford my old place. I took a part-time job at a hardware store to rebuild my savings, me, a 60-year-old man with 37 years in the mines. now wearing a name tag and stocking shelves. My daughter came by once. We had lunch. She didn't ask questions, but her silence said everything. She knew something had happened. She knew I'd screwed up. I attended a free counseling session for men dealing with online scams. There were 6 of us in the room. Every story was different, but they all felt the same. Loneliness, desperation, someone who seemed to care, money disappearing. The realization that none of it had been real. Hearing other men's stories helped a little. At least, I wasn't alone in my stupidity. But some nights, lying in my cheap rental bed, I still thought about Aum. About those early messages. About the way she'd smiled at dinner that first night. About how real it had all felt. How badly I'd wanted to be loved. That was the part that hurt most. Not the money. Not the lies. But the fact that I'd been so desperate for connection that I'd ignored every red flag, every warning sign, every moment of doubt. I'd wanted to believe so badly that I'd made myself blind. 6 months after I got back, I received a message request online from an unknown number. My stomach dropped. When I saw the name, Aum, "Hi, Cliff," the message said. "I am so sorry for everything. I was in bad place. Bad people control me. I did many things I am ashamed of. But I want you to know, I did care about you. You were different. You were kind. I'm in Bangkok now, trying to start new life. I think about you often. I hope you can forgive me. I understand if you cannot." I stared at that message for an hour. My hands hovered over the keyboard. Part of me wanted to type something cruel, something that would hurt her the way she'd hurt me. Part of me wanted to ask for my money back. Part of me wanted to send more. Part of me wanted to believe that maybe, just maybe, she was telling the truth. That maybe she had cared. That maybe I hadn't been just another mark. But I knew better now. I'd learned the lesson. So I blocked the number. I didn't need closure from her. I needed it from myself. If I could go back and talk to the version of me who first got that Instagram message, I don't know what I'd say. Maybe I'd tell him to delete his account. Maybe I'd tell him to be smarter, more careful, less trusting. But honestly, I don't think he would have listened. Because he was lonely, and loneliness makes you stupid. It makes you ignore things you know are true. It makes you believe things you know are lies. It makes you send $75,000 to a woman who was never your girlfriend. I'm not angry at Aum anymore. I'm not even sure I blame her. She saw an opportunity, and she took it. Maybe she was trapped. Maybe she had debts. Maybe her mother really was sick. Or maybe that was all part of the script too. I'll never know. What I do know is that I wasn't a victim of some criminal mastermind. I was a lonely man who wanted to feel important again, who wanted to feel needed, who wanted to believe that someone 32 years younger could actually see something special in him. And that desperation cost me everything. OnlyFans and sites like it have created a new kind of scam. It's not about stealing your credit card or hacking your account. It's about blurring the line between customer and boyfriend, between transaction and relationship. They sell the fantasy of connection, of intimacy, of being special. And for guys like me, divorced, retired, alone, that fantasy is worth more than money. It's worth everything. Until you wake up one day and realize you bought nothing but air. I still live in Perth. I still work at the hardware store. I've started talking to my kids again, though it's awkward. They know something happened in Thailand, but they don't ask, and I don't tell. I deleted all my social media. I don't look at OnlyFans. I don't date. I don't put myself out there anymore. Maybe that's giving up. Maybe that's just protecting myself. I don't know. What I do know is that loneliness is expensive, and some lessons cost everything you have. If you're reading this, or listening to this, or watching this, and you're thinking about sending money to someone online, someone who seems too perfect, too attentive, too understanding, please stop. Please think. Ask yourself why someone would need you specifically. Ask yourself if this would make sense if you removed the emotion from it. Ask yourself if you're being loved or being used, because the difference between those two things is everything. And once you cross that line, once you start sending money, it's almost impossible to stop. The fantasy becomes the only thing holding you together, and when it finally breaks, you break with it. I don't hate Aum. I don't even miss her anymore. What I miss is the version of myself who believed it could be real. The version who thought he deserved to be loved. I'm trying to find that guy again. Trying to rebuild some kind of life that doesn't revolve around filling the empty spaces with other people's lies. It's slow. It's hard. But it's the only way forward. Because going back isn't an option, and standing still will kill you. Loneliness is expensive, and some lessons cost everything.